Country Junction, and I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the quilting design I used when I recently quilted my Bargello and Plaid quilt. Quilt can be found in Bonnie Hunter's book, Scraps and Shirt Tails, the book #1, and I am just showing you a design that I call hook and bump. And Rosie's here just being herself. I do not claim to be an expert, bear with me, and we'll just give this video a try.
Okay, now I'm here at the whiteboard, and before I actually work on the quilt, I like to draw things out on the whiteboard first so that I can get an idea of how it's going to be on the quilt, how my arms need to move in order to make the design happen. So this design that I'm doing today is basically a hook with bumps. I don't know that there's a name for it. It's just kind of something that I'm doing today, and so we'll just call it the hook and bump. So to start out with, you need to make a hook. So come around like this and you have a hook. Okay, then I'm going to go down and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 bumps. Now from here, it's time to make another hook, but not all the time, because sometimes if you're in a tight space you can put another hook on or even another hook on, but for this time around I'm just going to only put 3 bumps on. So I normally go anywhere from 3 to 5 bumps, but I try to make it closer to 3. So here, now I want to make a new one, a new hook, so I'm going to move this way and hook up here, and then come down, and then I'm going to go bump, 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 because what I want to do is I want to come down and fill into this space. So this one is ending up getting 4 of the bumps on it. So now I'm going to come down and then I'm going to hook like this. Anytime you can hook to the, if you put your back, I'm going to call this part of the hook the back, then you can fill in here better. So see how we were able to fill in? And now, see there's a little space there, so this one's going to end up with getting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bumps on it because it filled in this space better. Well, now we're going to echo back. Echo means that you kind of go in the same motion that you were just at. And so here we echoed back, and now we're going to come out and we're going to hook again, and we're going to come down, back, and then now we want to fill in this space. So we make a big bump, another bump, another bump. But oh wait, look, we need to start going this way because our quilt is going this way. So we don't want to go that way because we're going to just pretend like this is the edge of our quilt. Well, maybe we're going to need to go that way first. So here we go. We're just going to make a quick hook this way, and then we're going to fill in, and then we're going to go off the edge of the quilt but come back on here, and we're going to need to fill in some up there. Ooh, look at, I did my hook the wrong way, so how are we going to fix that? You always have to figure out how you're going to fix that because you don't want to rip that stuff out all the time. So that's not beautiful, but it'll work. Okay, and now we're going to come up here, put a big hook. I'm hoping you can see that far. I don't know how this camera works. Do you see how we're working? Echo back, put a hook in here. Okay, bump, bump, bump. Now I want to move down this way, so I'm going to do another hook, and I'm going to put the butt or the back to that flower so I can fill in there really well. See, 1 bump, 2 bumps. See how the second one got bigger? Okay, and this is going to end up with a 5 one because I'm going to go down there. If you draw this out on a whiteboard, it really helps you be able to figure out how you're going to move when you do it onto, when you're using the quilt machine to do it. Well, now I want to, oh darn it, I got that dumb space back there, so how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to echo, echo, echo. Look how easily that was filled just by doing a few echoes. Ooh, now we kind of have that space in there. Well, we're just going to echo back and fill it in. So an echo is really a lifesaver if you use an echo now and then. You know, here's the echo up there. That looks fine with the design. Here's an echo over here. That looks fine with the design. But now we need to get over here. So how are we going to get there? We're going to echo, echo, echo. Okay, and remember, we need to fill in a lot of this space right in here. So we put the back of the hook that way. Okay, so now we are down here, and so how are we going to get going back that way again? Well, we're just going to do another hook. I think you're kind of getting the hang of it now. Oh boy, we got a mess in here. Oh, we got ourselves out. That's just kind of how it works. You just got to kind of be brave and give it a try and try to make it work the best you can where you're at. Okay, so you can see this hook kind of went backwards and stuff. I did that, you know, kind of a loopy back because it needed to fill in this space right here. So if you plan on doing some free motion quilting and you plan for all of your loops to be perfectly like this so that they're all the perfect same size and everything is perfect, you're going to be disappointed. When you look at the overall design, it looks really good, but here you can see these are very rounded. Some of these in here are kind of like oblong, rounded. Oh, here, this one isn't even leveled out. But once you get it onto a quilt, you're not going to notice that when it's all together. So you have to give yourself a break and just decide to yourself, every loop and bump isn't going to be perfect because, hey, life isn't perfect. So now let's take a chance and let's go try to recreate this on the quilt. Here we are at the quilting machine, and I have already gotten to this point, and so here's my line here, and you can see back here where my other quilting goes. So we're gonna have to start filling in this area this way because we're moving from right to left right now. So remember all the things I told you before. It's okay to have more than one bump onto your swirl. I mean, it's okay to have 3 or 4 or even 5, but 5 is kind of my limit right now when I'm working on this quilt. It's okay to echo. We actually want to echo so that we can get to different places that we need to go. Pretty much any successful free motion quilt motif that you're going to use across your quilt, you need some type of echo to get you moved to the directions you need to go in order to fill in the space you need to fill in. So here we go. I'm going to start. I'm going to try to do a swirl around this way, and so that I can fill in over here. And so that's the plan. So here we go. The swirl, then we go back around, then we're going to fill in that area. 1, 2, 3, 4 bumps. Okay, that's what it took this time. Now we're off to make another swirl. Okay, we're going to fill in that area. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 5 this time because I want that area filled in. Here we go off again. Another swirl. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we need to start getting back this way. So we got to figure out how to do that. So 1, 2, 3, and how do we get back that way? We echo. You can see that echo over here that I did. Now we got to go back and fill in here. We need to get back over to there to get that filled in. So a swirl and a bump and a bump and a bigger bump and one more big bump. And then we're going to go off. Here we go. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, keep moving. I'll tell you, it's kind of hard to do this and add a narrative at the same time. So you're just going to have to kind of watch and see what I do. It's just a series of swirls and bumps. Okay, now we kind of got ourselves into a tight space here. So we're just going to echo this around and fill it in. And that worked just fine. That's why you need to have an edge-to-edge design that has an echo into it to be really successful, especially if you're a beginner. And I still very much consider myself a beginner. And so I The only reason I'm doing this video to show you how is because a blog reader asked for it. So, but I'm a trier, so, okay. We need to get back over there again. That's a continual problem or a continual thing you're going to have to fight, is trying to get back in a different direction. And so you have to learn to do that. Sometimes it's a big swirl, sometimes it's a little swirl. Okay, I want to get back and fill that in, so I just did some echoing. It's hard to deal with those tight spaces, so what do we do there? Something a little bit ugly, but it worked. When everything's said and done, those little bit ugly spots, they all clean up in the quilt and you don't notice them. And so don't be afraid, because you just saw, this is the real life and truth of me doing long arm quilting, is there's some ugly spots, and that's just okay. You just got to forgive yourself and remember that you learned from that, and maybe next time you won't have as many ugly spots. Okay. I don't know if you can see that because they're getting pretty close to the edge here. Okay. Oh, and now I'm out of thread, so I guess that'll stop. I think that gave you a good idea on what I'm doing when I'm working at the long arm quilt machine, when I'm doing this swirl and bump design. I don't know, I'm sure there's a better name for it, but I'm just calling it swirl and bump. So I'll catch you later. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section. Thanks so much.